जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Pranam, pranam, pranam. Hari Om, Hari Om. Yesterday we were intensely trying to get some idea about the source of ours through 6 or 7 or 8 shlokas from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We were trying to have some idea. We have heard, we have read. What should be done by us in order to put ourselves on the experiential path? What do you feel? It is a theory. It is a theory at the moment given to us by Lord Krishna that I am the seed of everything. Gadir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrud Prabhava Pralayasthanam Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. How do we now try to make it a reality in our life? We have heard it. We have probably to some extent intellectually understood about it. What should be done?
Swamiji,
No.
we need some camp, some exclusive for this. Camp.
Ne?
We have to spend some time exclusive for this. For like that, you can arrange for a camp. 1 month
Arrange
camp.
for a camp.
That is okay. Everybody may not be able to exclusively set apart so much of time, because of the preoccupation with family, profession and other obligations. What could be an approach that will slowly make us realize? First of all, Papa used to say we should be well convinced about it, I am there, everybody will know that I am there, that I amness is there, which nobody can question. It is not a matter of dispute at all. We are all very clear about this, that I am there, I am there, everybody feels. Is it possible for us to concentrate as to where from this beingness, this awareness, it comes? And we should know we have right from morning till evening we have various activities. Not merely this. So keeping this in our mind, when we deal with men and matters, what should be our methodology, We may fail, we may forget. But we should have that clarity about that methodology. Because Papa gives a lot of importance for these two. Other forgot. Gives a lot of importance for this aspect. He says, try to enter into the mysterious origin of your and world life. To know who you are in reality is the real quest. To arrive at this truth, you have to, by a systematized process of thought and discipline, transcend all human limitations set by the body, mind, intellect, and then, embarking on the realm of the spirit, realize your immortal, changeless, blissful nature. And he says, to know the secret of life is to go to the very source of it. And see from there, all things as the emanation of that source. That source is pure and everlasting bliss. So all the ray-like manifestation of that bliss must be only waves of bliss. So these two aspects, we should go to the source. And that is why he has given us a triune path, Nam Seva Dhyan. We have been chanting, we have been deriving some benefit. Still, we were not clear why we are chanting. What should be there within my heart when I keep on chanting? Please think over this. Are we having it? If not, at least from now can we do it? But Om, when we say Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, it is an effort on our part to know our source. When we say Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, it is an effort on our part to remember the great provider and revere him, worshipping him by handling it with all gentleness, all reverence, anything and everything. At the moment, the mind is not equipped to go within because it is abstract. There is not an object. The source is not an object. Anything that can be objectified can be dwelt upon. Here it is the very subject, even illuminating the path of inquiry, So it is abstract, without a name and any form. But still, there should be a path. Papa had named it as a pathless path. Remember, there is a book. Because it is a pathless path, because the starting point and the ending point is same. That is why there is no distance which is called the path. So that, suppose we keep on thinking, we may get some clarity. And another method is, this is the toughest job, because being abstract, if the mind is not well trained, it will be difficult to concentrate on an abstract theory. So if that is not possible for us, we will recognize the power as something different from us now, and then we try to move towards that. So when we chant Ram Nam, if this attitude is there, it changes into path of devotion, bhakti. That power, about which I am 100% clear intellectually, because the heart beats, not because of me. So there is a power which is articulating the heart, prana. So even though it is abstract, I know from its working, Just like electricity, we cannot show, not palpable. But when we see the light burning, when we see the fan working, we know there is electricity there. So, though electricity is not palpable, it cannot be shown, it becomes understandable to us through these functionings, Can we try the same method? So any existence or any functioning, if we keenly observe, will we be able to feel the presence of that energy, power, God? So we give that God, place that God as separate from me, the seeker, and then try to go. And from Papa's life we have seen, though this was the attitude of him, that is why when he assumed sannyas, he gave a name, Ram Das. That means Das of Ram. Then later on he clarifies, though Ram and Ramdas are one, Ramdas would always like to be the Das of Ram. A mystical relationship. So following the thread of Papa, can we try now, from now onwards, when we chant, when we do any activity, when we handle anything, will we be able to bring this dimension? Papa did this, that the Nama chanting and this meditative factor was going on simultaneously. He was not concentrating on any name and form, but his bhakti can be understood that the power behind the creation and the creation separates itself for the sake of journey. And then, after realizing, experiencing that the power is not different from the creation, still continues to maintain the same relationship for the joy of it. Please think over this. This is very, very important. So path of devotion seems to be comparatively easier than the path of knowledge. If initially, if we want, we can give a name and form also, and later on transcend. When we go through Papa's books, it becomes very, very clear in all aspects. Well done. He says, for a human being, there is no privilege greater than that of becoming the child of the divine parent, the immortal child of the eternal parent. This spiritual relationship is based upon the knowledge that the child and the parent are one. Verily, there is none and nothing but one Supreme Lord. So Papa wants us to develop this devotional aspect to an impersonal aspect. If suppose we give a name and form, it's not a crime. When you remember God in a particular form, you worship Him as Saguna. And when the image dissolves in your mind, how does it dissolve? Then only it will become cosmic, universal. Because the other person may not be able to worship in the same form. But at the same time, you need a form, you need a prop, you need something on which you can build up. So, nothing wrong, Lord Krishna's form. But Lord Krishna does not mean that he is localized in that form only. So he says, when the image dissolves in your mind, raising you beyond the sense of duality, then you realize Him as Nirguna. Both are the aspects of one truth. For a human being, there is no privilege greater than that of becoming the child of the divine parent, the immortal child of the eternal parent. This spiritual relationship is based upon the knowledge that the child and the parent are one. Verily, there is none or nothing but the one Supreme Lord of the worlds, who is all in all. Some clues, We have to do something, otherwise hearing and reading will not help us much. As somebody brought it out, only 25% will be the benefit. And 70% comes from manana. And 5% comes from nididhyasana. So now he is taking us from stage to stage. So far when we were chanting, probably we would not have been bringing this dimension in us. So when we chant Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, morning suppose we set apart 1 mala or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we try 1 mala or 2 malas or 3 malas, we try to infuse this idea into the chanting. We are chanting the name of one who is seated within and who is providing the opportunity for me to chant, so that I will remember Him. Otherwise, I may not remember Him. I will start everything from the me and mind level. I will not become aware that He is within me. For that purpose, He is now offering an opportunity for me to chant His name. See how the manana goes along with chanting. He is the source. Through various logas, the Lord has confirmed this. So He is within me as the source of all sources. And to remember Him, I am chanting His name. Otherwise, I don't remember Him. When I go to temple, when I have the darshan of the Murti, I may be having it for a trice, for a split second. When somebody brings prasad from a temple, when I apply it on my forehead, take something inside, for a split second, I connect myself with Him. When I go to ashram, when I see the Mahatma there, when he talks something about spirituality, God, I get some connection with Him. Immediately after that, I am back to square one. To know that He is ever present in us in the form of this subtle and mysterious power, I am chanting. He is making me to chant. Because even to chant, I need Him. I need chanting to remember him. Even to chant, I need him. If he is not there, I will not be able to chant. These are some samples of our manana, reflection. Please think over. And whenever we see an object, whenever we handle an object, whenever we deal with men and matters, somewhere in the subconscious state, we have to somehow keep it alive. That is why Papa says chanting. If chanting is made as a routine, is become a part of my life, then this constant remembrance becomes a reality, according to him. We are also chanting, we have been chanting, but that constancy is not there, constancy in remembering him. Even by chanting, do we remember him? Each one has to ask first. Because if we are remembering him, the chanting will always give us joy. If chanting goes on like a discipline, like a diversion, immediately after that, the impact is not felt. That is why Puja Swamiji said, though he was not doing it in the way in which Mataji wanted, he may be doing it for a short time, but the intensity was there. The impact of which remained with him, according to him, for a longer time. So now we are comparing. When we go to Ramnam session comes back, whether the impact is there, impact in terms of remembering him. We may say yesterday's Ramnam was wonderful. What do we mean by that wonderful? Do we remember him? Has it helped me to know that he is the source behind everything? Has it made me to understand that it was he who made me the opportunity to play Ramnam? Or do we say, it was wonderful? We say wonderful from the individual level. There is an individual, when we see a movie, when we see a music performance, dance performance or serial, what we get is a diversion. Is it the same like that or something else, deeper than that? So these are some of the questions we have to ask ourselves. We have been hearing all these things. We have not forgotten Ramnam. We would not have 100% made use of Ramnam to remember him. But still, Ramnam is still with us. So that is a plus point for all of us. So when we chant, even if it is for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, can we bring in this dimension intensely? If that is set on motion, whatever we hear between 3:30 to 4:30 or whatever we read during our other times, it will have some impact. It won't be a sentimental or an emotional level attraction, but it will be something far deeper and deeper than that. Think about it. Yesterday he made us to elaborately dwell upon this source of all sources. That is the fundamental thing. So how do we now make it a reality in our life? That is the question. Everybody is keeping quiet.
You said Ramnam was fine from here.
Huh?
You said Ramnam was fine. We could feel that the mind was still at that time. That's why we say Ramnam was fine.
Ram Nam helps because it becomes still at that time when we chant.
Now we are now trying that Ramnam should enable us to lead us to the source. In the fifth sloka of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 12, sorry.
Chapter number 12.
Lord Krishna himself explains, Klesho adhigadarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gadir dukkham dehavad vyapyate. Means, greater is the trouble whose minds are set on the unmanifested. Because abstract, to concentrate upon the abstract, it is very klesham, it is very difficult. Because the goal of the unmanifested is very hard to be reached by the embodied. Lord Krishna himself says, it is very difficult to pursue in search of this source, because it is abstract. What is preventing me is this me and mine, because I am embodied. Those who have this human body consciousness, to them the path of avyakta is extremely painful and difficult. When we give up the consciousness of the body, then we can do it, but that will not come easily. Whenever body consciousness comes, we need to think of God as with form, as a person. Then we can worship Him accordingly. This bhakti is easy and simple. To think of God as with form, very simple. We can worship Him in any form we like. He appears to us in that form. It is the same Brahman that comes in the form of this divine personality. So, Deha Buddhi, Bhakti is the universal form of religion all over the world. Only a handful of people are capable of taking the jnana path. And they have taken to it and they have realized as a valid path. But everybody should not try that path, in which success is very limited. So we should choose a via media. Na? While going through the Sagunopasana, unknowingly, unwittingly, we might limit the power to that finite form, so that we should get over. But at the same time, to concentrate on the infinite in the initial stage, it is tough. So our source is invisible, no? It cannot be objectified. So we give a name and form and try to transcend it. Because Sri Krishna himself says this, That is why in the 6th and 7th shloka of the same chapter, he gives this. It will be possible only when you surrender everything to me. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha ananyeneva yogena mam dhyayanda upasate teshamaham samuddarta murtyu samsara sagarad bhavami najirat partha maya veshita chetasam. So Lord himself knows our limitation. You see how difficult it is to practice I am not this body. Intellectually we can understand. Because I can see my body, I can feel my body, I can touch my body. That means I cannot be the body. Intellectually 100% clear. But how difficult it is to practice that I am not this body. Sri Ramakrishna said, people speak of Avyakta, invisible, Brahman, the impersonal reality, etc., not knowing that just a little slip, they will come down. So he used to say, because you have the Deha or body, the Deha pulls you down to this world of duality. That is why in deep samadhi, when no body consciousness is there, can we be in that state. But even then, if the body goes wrong, there is a tendency in it to pull the mind down. That is why bhakti is the universal form of religion all over the world. Then the next sloka he says, Yetu sarvani karmani Mayi sanyasya matpara. So he is not merely pointing out that it is difficult, he is also giving us some clues. But those who worshipping me, resigning all actions in me, regarding me as the supreme goal, meditating on me with single-minded yoga, to those whose mind is set on me, verily I become before long the savior out of the ocean of the mortal samsara. Sri Bhagavan himself says here, Yetu, however, those who renouncing all their actions to me, means what? Renouncing means not running away. Handing over the ownership of everything. Doership, ownership, enjoyership, sufferership. We need not say that. In our heart we should feel. Keeping me as their supreme goal. Through one-pointed devotion. Worship me through meditation on me. To such persons, I become the instrument to lift them up from worldliness. What kind of worldliness? Mrityu samsara sagarat. This samsara sagara or ocean of worldliness consisting of birth and death, that is compared to an ocean. I lift up such person from that ocean. That means the sense of individuality, so long as it is there, it is subject to go through this birth and death. So this Mrityu Samsara Sagara, I have to get out of it and to become one. For that I have to dedicate, remember everything. So here again, this source of everything. Not seeing is, we need not say we are seeing ourselves in it. We can say we are trying to see Him in it. When I see a coconut, I should know that it has come from a coconut plant, tree. And then I suddenly remember that coconut tree has come from a seed coconut. That seed coconut has come from another coconut tree. So like that it goes on. So it must have started from somewhere. Without something cannot come. So He is that. Like that, Whatever creature comfort, man-made comforts, when we look at it, a brush or a paste, we are just looking at it. Before that, there is an individual who conceived this idea and who was able to, through his intelligence, combine in the fixed proportion of certain raw materials and then bring it out. And that individual is responsible for the creature comfort I am enjoying. And that person He has come from where? He has come from his parents. Parents have come from their parents. So ultimately it should also end in him. So this is what he says. Worship me through meditation on him, to such person. I become the instrument to lift them up from worldliness. He is giving us a practical suggestion now. The 4, 5 and 6 of 12th chapter, having made us known that we should be concentrating on the source of all sources, now through these 3 slokas, he is trying us, he is leading us to go to the source. Resigning all actions in me, regarding me as the supreme goal, meditating on me with single-pointed yoga, to these whose mind is set on me, verily I become, before long, the savior out of the ocean of the mortal samsara.
Some shlokas is chanting.
So as we are able to get some, as we practice like this, we develop the spiritual awareness and the spiritual strength step by step. The body, by realizing our own true nature, which is birthless and deathless. The body alone dies, not the Atman. We are able to get that knowledge through this practice of bhakti with devotion to the divine. As we practice like this, we develop that spiritual awareness, that spiritual strength step by step. So bhakti is placed before us because it is easy for us to perform. If jnana has to begin with the consciousness that I am not this body, then we shall have to wait till eternity, till that body consciousness goes away. So the majority of people in all countries are followers of bhakti, and many great bhaktas in all parts of the world have realized the divine, and they have realized the joy of spiritual freedom. They have communicated this joy to others through their songs, through their writings, and so Sri Krishna is speaking here about the path of bhakti as easier for us to accomplish step by step. Sri Ramakrishna also says the jnani must wipe away all attachments of the senses. But how can you wipe it away like that? That attachment is very much there. So Sri Ramakrishna said to a bhakta, there is no need to wipe it away. We gently give it a turn to the divine. Turn the direction. We slowly overcome them. In this way, Bhakti Yoga has been expounded in various scriptures as the easier path for men and women. In the following verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 11th book, there is a description. A person who has not much attachment to the world, nor is he or she endowed with high renunciation, can achieve perfection through bhakti. By hearing about the Lord, even by chance, he or she was just passing by chance hears a discourse going on, sits there, hears beautiful ideas about God and love of God or devotion. Somehow that person's heart responds to it. From that day, he or she becomes a devotee. Such a one may not have become pure, nor become a man or woman of renunciation. Still, lot of attachment is there, but it does not matter. He or she has started on the journey. The first step has been taken. If one continues on the path, one will realize the highest bhakti in this very life. So to such people, Bhakti Yoga becomes Siddha. Siddhada. The giver of Siddhi are real. What kind of people? By chance he or she heard the talks about me, and his or her become attached to the spiritual life, to the love of God. He or she has not high spirit of renunciation, nor is he or she intensely attached to the worldly life. To all such people, Bhakti Yoga will lead them gently on to the highest realization. So that is why in the 8th sloka he says, Mayyeva mana adarsha, adasva, Mayi buddhim niveshaya, nivasishyasya mayyeva atavurdhvam na samsheha. Fix your mind on me only, place your intellect in me, then you shall no doubt live in me alone hereafter. That means every object I must try to connect up. Every thought later on. So whether we mean it or not, just like what we are all doing in the ashram routine, why not we try when we take the book? Book is also he. Auto-suggestion. He made somebody to bring out this printing technology, you know. He made somebody to think about bringing the paper. He made somebody to bring about the language. And he made somebody to put everything in a printed form. And it comes to me now in the form of a book. Like that, you know. Going to the source through this aspect. These are all tangible forms. We need not tom-tom, but in our heart. When idli is served, we mentally think, you know, when there is no idli in the world, how you made somebody to think about idli. We are now just eating idli. Behind that, how many people have sacrificed to bring it out, you know. The dough making, the process. Especially, we all know that, you know, when we were depending upon this firewood oven and a vessel where we put water, we make it to boil, and there are the what do you call it, idli set. There we apply oil, coconut oil, and then pour this dough there. How to prepare the dough? First, you know, in the grinding stone, no? What do you call it? First is Urdu dal. Urdu dal is ground properly, kept it separate, then the rice is ground properly, and then mix it, then add, then again put both of them so that the mixing becomes perfect, and limited salt, and that is how the dough making. And after that, you know, we put it there and then wait. The steam goes and boils everything, then take it out. When we order, nowadays when we get it from canteen, canteen of course so many improvised methods are there now, but those who have done it about 15, 20, 30, 40 years back, they will know the real difficulty. And you go again a step before, when nothing was there, how was he able to conceive? Today we are enjoying. So even a small idli or a sambar or a glass of water or a cup of tea can connect us up to the source. They are all tangible objects. So along with this theory, suppose if we start identifying it, probably that could be the method by which we will be slowly trying to realize the source of all sources. Think about it. That is why Vinobaji used to say, every object there's a beautiful word, his signature in it. Remember? Yeah, he explains. Every object contains his signature. We should see the signature of God. That is the word he used. We only see them as objects. You got the Kaksan Gita here? No, but I have it here.
I'll try some Ramana.
Not necessary. I have it here. Book. This vast creation is like the Lord's book. This vast creation is like the Lord's book. When our eyes are covered with thick veils, we think that the book is closed. Everywhere in this book, the name of the Lord is written in beautiful letters. But we fail to read that. We are only seeing it as a book, seeing it as laptop, seeing it as mic. So here Vinobaji says, the vast creation is like the Lord's book. When our eyes are covered with thick veils, we think that the book is closed. Everywhere in this book, that means in every creation, the name of the Lord is written in beautiful letters, but we fail to read that. A major obstacle is that a man does not recognize the Lord in the ordinary and simple forms which are near him, and his distant and dazzling manifestations are too difficult to grasp. If you tell him to see God in the mother, he will say, is God so simple? But if the Lord appears before you with his dazzling splendor, will you be able to stand the sight like Kunti? She wished to see the sun god face to face, but when he approached her, she could not stand. We cannot bear the Lord with all his power and glory, but we do not accept him in milder and gentle forms. We cannot digest sweets made from milk and do not relish ordinary milk. These are the symptoms of our wretchedness and doom. Such a sick mind is a great obstacle that prevents us from seeing him. We must discard this state of mind. So the first and foremost form of the Lord for us is our mother. Matradevo Bhava. Who but the mother does the newborn baby see first? The Lord himself stands there as the embodiment of tenderness. And now we remember a week back, a person came here. Normally, they don't subscribe to this line of thinking. But somehow we were prompted to share with him Papa's thoughts. He gave a patient hearing. And finally, when he got up, he said, we have also started thinking on those lines, and I will tell you how I started. I have a cow, she delivered a calf, I was there at that time. As soon as the calf got up, it straightaway went to the udder and started sucking the milk. Who taught? The mother cow did not induce or give the idea. Who taught? In the human beings, at best the mother can take up to the breast. But sucking is not taught to the child, Think about it. When Vinobaji says, in every book, in every page, there is a name. So he is there. He is there in that form. These are some of the ways by which we can associate ourselves with God thought constantly. So here he says, first mother, the Lord himself stands there as the embodiment of tenderness. We can move on from the worship of the mother to the worship of Mother India, still further to the worship of the Mother Earth. But in the beginning, the mother is the highest form in which the Lord appears before the child. It is quite possible to attain moksha through the worship of the mother. Worship of the mother means worship of the Lord as love incarnate. The mother is just the medium. The Lord endows her with affection, impels her to toil for the child. The poor mother does not understand why she feels so much love and affection for the child. Does she do everything for the child with the calculation that it might be of use to her in her old age? Not at all. She undergoes labor pains while giving birth to the child. That pain makes her passionately attached to her child. That pain makes her love the child. She just cannot help loving it. The mother is the embodiment of boundless service. To worship her is the highest form of worship of the world. It is as mother that we should address the Lord. Is there a word nobler and more exalted than this? Mother is the most prominent and simplest manifestation of the Lord that we come across. Learn to see God in her. And then in the Father. And then in the Guru. The Guru imparts knowledge to us. Make us human beings in the true sense. How indebted are we to Him? Thus, we should start with seeing God in the conspicuous forms of the Mother, the Father, the Guru, the Saints. What else? Where else can we see Him if not there? So like that, then He will take us to different objects. So this particular line, please remember. It's a vast book. This vast creation is like the Lord's book. When our eyes are covered with thick veils, we think that the book is closed. Everywhere in this book, the name of the Lord is written in beautiful letters. But we fail to read that. A major obstacle is that a man does not recognize the Lord in the ordinary and simple forms. So yesterday when he was insisting us to concentrate upon the source of us and source of the world, today he is giving us some practical clues. Silently we can try, That is why he tells us to handle everything with a touch of love, touch of perfection, touch of gratitude, touch of dedication. Then only we get connected to the source of our being. Because in one of the slogas he said yesterday, you remember? Yachavi sarvabhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vina yasya. Yasya 39. Yachavi sarvabhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vina yasya mayabhudam charajaram. Mayabhudam charajaram. So he says, I am the generating seed of all living beings. No creature, moving or non-moving, can exist without me. Even in an inert, insentient matter, the science has now taught us that the vibration is going on, Apparently they are becoming static. But it is not static. When the life ebbs away, the body remains. Why the body is immediately cremated? So many activities, decomposition process is going on, Normally we think when the life force goes away, everything comes to a halt. Certainly not. The decomposition process is such that none of us can be near to that. It emits a particular type of smell. So we can't stand here. Even if a lizard is, the dead body is there or the rat in that house, how much we feel miserable the moment we start smelling it. We try to somehow locate the origin and get rid of it, is it not? And put phenyl. Think about it. To us, it is a dead body. But in the dead body also activities are going on. That is why he said, Characharam. Mayabhudam Characharam. Both in the Chara and the Achara I am there. Yachavi sarvabhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vina yasya maya bhudam characharam. So we try to understand this. Oh, Sagar. Yesterday's curry or sambar, today it gets spoiled. Means what? Some activity is going on, na? That is why the transformation takes place. If a fruit, when the ripening goes beyond certain level, what happens? To all intents and purposes, it is static, but it is not static. So there is some other form of activity is going on in the inert, insentient matters even. These are some of the ways by which we can connect ourselves to the source. So today our whole structure is how to make it a reality and to remember this Nama. To remember this Nama and also to make us remember the Nama while we are in activity so that we can connect up with Him. And in our inward journey, if we try to pursue this path, we will be able to remember Him who is within us. These are the guidelines Papa has given to us. Ultimately, it is to connect us with the source. We are all 100% convinced about the need to go to the source. Think about it again. How He takes us tomorrow, we have no idea. Let us see. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om, Hari Om.